I met Dave in 2006 when Sandy Bracken invited him to be on the advisory council. And then a couple of years later, Sandy again asked him to be the entrepreneur in residence. At that time, the incubator was full, and he met with every single incubator tenant almost every single day. And that went far beyond what anyone really had done in the entrepreneurial in residence position. And then he says, I still have more to give. And he says, well, let's talk about business plan competitors. And Dave actually would schedule anyone who wanted to join the business plan competition in an hour. And it was just amazing. People were just waiting in line to talk to Dave. The cool thing early on, Sandy Bracken and Dave O'Brien were avid bike riders. And I had just started riding a bike. And on the way home, there's this huge hill. And I was like, how on earth do I get up this hill? Dave says, Beth, all you have to do is look up the hill and say, okay, I see that tree there. I'm going to make it to that tree. I see that sign there. I'm going to make it to that sign. And you just broke it down to these little segments, and then all of a sudden the hill was gone. And I think about that for every hill I climb, with Dave telling me, just look up that hill and grab a small spot, you'll make it.
Dave was not only, a huge advocate in encouraging us to do the business plan, he also encouraged us throughout the entire process and afterwards. Dave would often invite me to entrepreneurial and venture capital events. And not only that, he would take his time and energy to introduce me to all of his friends, to his network of people. And that to me was really valuable because it showed that not only did he care about me as a student, but he really cared about me as an individual. He took his personal time to introduce me to his friends, to his network. And that was something that, really helped our idea, really helped us grow the concept, and something that we never would have been able to do without some of his assistance. Personally, I think that Dave's attitude and Dave's enthusiasm is something that I hope to really capture in my own self as I move forward as an entrepreneur. That attitude that he brought to me is something that I've always tried to replicate in my involvement with other people.
Dave was refreshing from the standpoint that he was always there to help. He was very gracious with introductions, which I really needed for my business. And more importantly, he held us accountable for the stuff that he taught us. So we would talk about business strategy, and you couldn't just run away from that. He'd be in your office a week later. Okay, so what did you do on the strategy that we talked about? Dave was always one of the guys that you were happy to see, and he always gave you his ear, and he was just easy to talk to. And remember a couple occasions, actually one that one of the other incubator residents and I took Dave to a baseball game just because we enjoyed his company so much. I want to wish Dave the best. He definitely made a part of my business transformation into who I am today, and without some of his guidance, I may not be where I am.
Dave O'Brien, he was very proactive and very good at predicting what entrepreneurs would need to know. He organized several seminars on subjects that he felt would be of concern to us, and one that I found particularly useful was a seminar on insurance. He also had some venture capitalists come in and talk about finance and some angel investors as well. So he really did a good job in bridging the gap between the business community in Denver and Boulder and incubators. Dave was very good about coming in at least once a week and sitting down and saying, tell me where your business is at. Tell me what you're doing now, what you need, and if I can help you, I will. Dave had a tremendous impact in that he provided a lot of the intangibles that a lot of small businesses don't get. So I'd say success for me came quicker.
I knew Dave O'Brien when he was in the Bard Center. He was a great friend while he was here. It was great to have him just as someone in the office to bounce ideas off of. And I have to say, the thing about Dave that is so striking is that not only is he wickedly intelligent, just one of the smartest guys I've ever met, but he's actually one of the most generous of spirit. And he was really able to come meet our students where they were at and move them to where they needed to be.
I think that the one thing that just stands out about Dave is there's just not a ton of people that you meet in your life that want you to be successful for you, that are genuinely excited about your success and the success of your projects and your company, and just happy for you. Most people that want to try to help you are not that altruistic. Dave's one of those really rare guys that I've met that just love being around entrepreneurs, loved being around startups, loved talking about it, and wanted people to be successful because success in entrepreneurism is such a wonderful and fun and exciting thing. He wanted other people to experience that. And that's a fairly special thing.
I knew Dave as a mentor and advisor and interim director of the Bard Center for Entrepreneurship. I met Dave when Sandy Bracken was a director, and I graduated from the 11-month program, founded a company. Dave was an advisor and mentor through that company. We ran into some difficulties, folded that company, started another one, and Dave was an advisor and advocate through that tumultuous time in transition between those firms. So Dave was a gray-haired experience, if you will, to a young entrepreneur, and helped me understand what I was going through and what I needed to be thinking about through this time. So he was a mentor and advisor. I'd like to consider a friend. We had some laughs, so I enjoyed the times I got to speak with Dave. But above all else, he was just a great champion when, as a young entrepreneur, you need all the help you can get.
Entrepreneurship is a high wire act. It's very high stress, and good entrepreneurs have a high tolerance for that. Told a number of people in the past, I eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner on occasion. Okay, it's difficult to maintain a positive attitude. It's difficult to be constructive, ongoing all the time. It's difficult to keep your cool under pressure, right? And Dave pretty much always did. If you're constantly rolling the dice and hoping it comes up sevens. You're constantly throwing something up against the wall and hoping it sticks. Constantly betting the ranch and having a cool, calm hand on the wheel, if you will, through that process is invaluable for any entrepreneur. And Dave was doing it for the Business Catapult and arguably doing it for a good number of other entrepreneurs at the Bard Center and outside of it and through the Angel Capital Summit. His presence was always calming. Pleasure working with him, and I miss him badly. So I'm on a day-to-day basis. I almost want to get a little rubber band around my wrist that says, "What would Dave do?"
I really enjoyed working with Dave because he was passionate and he so wanted to help, and he was excited about the emerging company environment in Colorado and wanted to enhance it. And of course, that's my field. So having a passionate advocate like Dave out there trying to enhance the community is a big deal and very helpful. I felt the connection to get involved personally in the Bard Center through Dave, and also for me personally to get involved in the business planning competition, which I wasn't prior to Dave. Dave really brought a lot of passion, a lot of hands-on experience. He wanted to get his hands dirty. He was a technician who wanted to get in there and make things work, and that passion and experience will be missed.
I really appreciate the opportunity to voice how helpful and how great Dave was as this incubator mentor, and how he is really a mentor of mine and was incredibly helpful. And still I go back to a lot of the things he taught me in my day-to-day work. Dave, I think, was instrumental in that success of the company. He's a terrific person. He's a wonderful person. He's incredibly warm, really had a kind heart. You take our company, he kind of took us in and really helped us grow and got us straight. I think got the business structure, got the business in place, and got things up and running. But then we graduated from the incubator, and Dave was still there to help out, and I could go and call Dave anytime I had a question, anytime I needed help or advice or counsel, and he was always there to help. I'll never forget Dave for all the help he's given us, but just in life in general, and just keys on not how to run a company, but just as you're placed in an organization, how to be an entrepreneur, and I think just a better work ethic, and I'd even say a better person.
I've always known Dave as a mentor to me and to my students, and as a real advocate and support for my company when we were first starting out. But as I put together this video, I realized that Dave has really been a mentor to most of the companies that have passed through the Bard Center in the last several years, and has been a support to all of us and a mentor to all of us, and helped all of us be better people and launch more successful companies. And for that, we thank him.